You look really well.
Well, thank you. So do you. Your mustache is coming along.
Thank you. How do you do that? How do you seem to get younger as you get older?
Oh, yeah, I wish. I'm in North Carolina, actually.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
One, two, three, four. Right?
Hello, everybody.
Open Commissioner Space just joining.
We got one more who's just joining in now. It's good to see everyone. I hope everyone's summer's going well. I hope North Carolina's doing okay. I'm sure they're better off for having sunny as long as they've had them.
I muted people because we're getting feedback.
Oh, we're getting a little bit of feedback there, Sunny, so you are muted right now, but we're going to get started here in a second. We have a quorum. Christoph, did you hear from him?
Yes, 5.
I'll shoot him a quick text and then I'll get started. You might have sent me an email and I just missed it. Is Richard here?
No,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Kyle's here.
Calling in for Richard tonight.
Gotcha, Kyle. I just saw his name here and I didn't remember seeing him.
Yeah, I think
You
we
got
forgot
Pat?
to have that changed.
That's okay. Pat, you're taking the Community and Recreation Services?
Yeah, I'll take that tonight.
Roger that. Okay, let's get started. Everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Call to the community. This is the time for citizens who would like to address the Recreation and Public Grounds Commission on any non-agenda item. Action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to asking staff to review the matter, asking that the matter be put on a future agenda, or responding to criticism. We do have someone tonight with us, Mr. Colin Barleycorn. Did I say that right, sir?
That is correct.
All right. Colin, take it away.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the commission. I am Colin Barleycorn. I live at 950 East Libre Circle in Litchfield Park. I'm speaking on behalf of myself and my neighbor at 960 East Libre Circle that the new perimeter wall planned for Camelback Park be extended to include our two properties. Per the existing design, if the new 10-foot wall is extended along the park side of our two properties, as shown on the handout I provided, is that provided? There you go. Thank you very much, Marissa. As you can see down below where our two properties are at, if it's extended, it would provide two very important benefits. First and most important is public safety. A 10-foot wall would stop children from climbing over our parkside wall. Currently, children frequently climb over to retrieve balls and other toys that come into our backyards. This has become a serious problem for years, but can be remediated by this simple and effective fix. Second, by extending the wall, it would give the entire park wall consistency and an aesthetically pleasing view. Therefore, by extending the perimeter wall to include our properties, it would, number one, increase public safety, and number two, improve visual aesthetics. Lastly, I would like to say that my neighbor and I would gladly provide the city with an easement if needed to have the wall built along the park side of our properties. Thank you for your time and your consideration of this request.
Thank you, Colin. Of course, Colin, you're invited to stay for the rest of the meeting if you'd like to.
Most definitely. I'd like to stay and watch.
Thank you for that. Okay, staff reports. Public Works Monthly Report. Tonight, our presenter is Mr. Kyle. Kyle, take it away, sir.
Thank you, Chairperson Patty, members of the commission. So currently, West Coast Arborists began yearly scheduled palm tree trimming throughout the city of right-of-ways on July 5th. Due to recent storms, it's kind of been delayed during this whole process. We're predicting them being finished up hopefully by tomorrow, maybe beginning of next week. So that's where we're at with the palm tree trimming. The Turtle Park restroom remodel has been complete. As many as you know, before the last meeting that we had a few delays due to contractor issues and materials, but all in all, we actually have been able to complete that project. The Scout Underpass tunnel has been painted. Staff spent 3 days on storm cleanup. The city received an estimated 2.5 to 2 3/4 inches of rain within a few hours. Storm cleanup consists of removing broken tree limbs, sediment from erosion, palm tree debris, pumping out the water from Scout Underpass, and sweeping the streets. Staff has met with multiple holiday decorating vendors to assist with this year's decorations for the upcoming holidays. Staff has met with multiple contractors requesting quotes to remodel the Stags Park restroom and Ramadas, as well as the Tierra Verde dock repairs. Staff repaired the paver damage that was located in the intersection of Wigwam Boulevard and Villanueva. That was the dead center. We call it the God's Eye. We had some erosion happen over some time, and we finally were able to make that repair. Staff installed 2 no left turn signs near the exit of LESD pickup and drop off area to help with traffic control. In addition, a no U-turn sign has been installed in the center turf median just east of the Wigwam Resort entrance. A speed radar sign, like the city's current speed radar sign, is expected to be installed in the future. Lead time for this piece of equipment is 8 to 10 weeks out. And finally, Public Works welcomes 2 new staff members, Alfredo Sanchez and Michael Brody. And we are very excited to have some new team members on staff. It's been a blessing, so we're very happy with that. And I think that is it. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
I have a question.
Thank you for that, Kyle. Andy's got a question for you.
I had someone ask me what the hours were that the restrooms are open in the parks, and I didn't have an answer to that, so I said I'd find out.
They are open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Commissioner Fix, and then Commissioner Colbreth.
Hi, Kyle. Thank you for your report. I happened to drive by after that storm and saw the water in that Scout underpass. That was crazy to me, how much water accumulated there. Is there not any drainage in place to remove that water? Or does it always have to be pumped out of there?
Currently, we do have to pump it out. I know Woody, our special project engineer, is trying to incorporate a new pump drainage system into the new city center storm drain. It's still in the process. We're still trying to figure out how we are going to get such high volumes of water out of that area. I think they've got it figured out. I just think they just have to get the project moving.
Thank you.
But yes, there was quite a bit of water. I haven't seen that full in a while.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Almost, I want to say almost 2 days just to pump that out.
Yeah.
Commissioner Colbreth.
Thanks. Kyle, on the Christmas lights, you mentioned that you've met with decorating vendors to assist with this year's decorations. Can you talk a little bit more about that and the I think this is the first year you've done that. You can say if that's right. And just what are you looking to accomplish by having a vendor to assist with that this year?
Sure. So in the past, council has asked us to look into having more decorations done in the center of town. We've been given direction to start meeting with professional decorators, I guess you would call them, to come in and give us quotes to kind of spruce up and boost up the center of town with our holiday decorations. Staff and we've met with a few so far, so we're just getting all of our ducks in a row here, and we actually started a new holiday decoration committee. So hopefully we start moving along with this pretty quick.
Sounds good.
Can I ask a follow-up question to that, Kyle? Generally
Sure.
speaking, what's the cost that those contractors come back with? If you don't, like the range, I guess.
To be honest with you, we haven't actually got a cost yet. We've just been meeting with some of these vendors and giving them ideas, what we're actually looking for. We're still trying to incorporate what we use. I know the poinsettia is a huge thing. The poinsettia stand in the center of town is a big thing for the city. So we're still trying to incorporate that in with these new decorations that we're potentially going to be putting in. But as for cost, we have not gotten, we have not received any numbers yet.
Okay, thank you for that.
Welcome.
Are there any other questions for Mr. Kyle? Thank you, sir.
Go.
Community and Recreation Services Monthly Report. Presenter, Mr. Pat. Take it away, Pat.
Thank you, Chairman Taddy. Hello, Commissioners. Good evening. So we've had a pretty busy summer over at the Rec Center. On July 4th, we hosted the Splash Bash. The event was open to the public, and we had about 250 attendees participate during that time for the daytime celebration. On something that is coming up on August 27th, it is our dine-in movie night. We're showing Luca. It's going to be $5 per person. Kids 3 and under are free. And then if you go to eventbrite.com, they are selling tickets in advance if you wanted to get your ticket beforehand. And I believe the gates would open up at 7 p.m. that night for the movie, and they'll be giving out, doing popcorn and snow cones like they have in the past. We've had a pretty good season this year. Due to August, our hours have changed for open swim and swim lessons because school is back in session. We've kind of focused more on individual lessons, and our open swim hours are 3 to 9 on Mondays through Friday, and then they're same on the weekends when we're open. That's open swim. So we had about 1,278 registrations for aquatic programs and 44 pool rentals for this past summer. So it was good to see everyone coming back out and enjoying the time in June and July. Our preschool held their summer camp, and they had a good turnout. They had 38 campers in June and July, and preschool just started back up this week. And they have 3 classes, and we are full at 19 kids in each class. For sports, we did hold summer programming. We currently started coach pitch practices. We had 40 kids sign up. We are full in that session, and practices started this week. For coach pitch, our fall registration is still open. We're about a week left until that closes. We currently have 368 kids signed up in basketball, flag football, and t-ball. And at this time last year, we only had 276. So it's good to see the numbers where they're at with a week left. We expect those numbers to go up. And then for special events, they're just gearing up for their special events season. Oktoberfest is set to be Saturday, October 1st. And I know Tricia mentioned she's going to be reaching out to you guys for possible volunteer opportunities shortly. So expect to see if an email or something from her to see if you guys would be interested in volunteering for that. So at this time, that's all I really have. I'll take any questions that anyone might have.
Thank you for that. Are there any questions for Pat?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I don't have a question, but I read something this week where our special events, two of our special events have been recognized as being in the top 10 special events in the country. That's an awful big thing to say, I know. And of course, there's a lot of those surveys out there, but it is great to know that our special events put on by Tricia and the special event staff has been recognized as being some of the top, not just in Arizona, but in the country. So just wanted to bring that up. I'm sure there'll be some information coming forward about that.
That's great news. Pat, do you know what events they were?
That I do not know. Sorry.
I know one of them was the November Art and Wine Festival. That was one of them. So I'm not certain what the other one was. It didn't mention it in the article.
Well, that is great news. Thank you for bringing that, Sonny. Are there any other questions for Pat? Okay. Business. Tierra Verde Lake Pine Tree Trunk Removal. Discussion and possible action to recommend the removal of the 20-foot pine tree trunk located at Tierra Verde Lake. Presenter is Mr. Sonny Colbreth. Take it away, Sonny.
Yes, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, thank you. I believe you have the commission communication as part of your packet. You'll see some of the history that actually Kyle provided, that back in October of 2020, during a big windstorm, a 60 to 80 foot estimated tall tree lost several of its limbs. And he gives an explanation as to why they had become weak and had fallen. And so it was determined that that tree was a danger, being in the area that it is on the peninsula there at the lake. And so they removed all the branches and left the trunk at a 20-foot tall trunk. And then because of that, some ideas came forward and was discussed by our commission pretty thoroughly and quite often for about 9 months about possibly doing some art and carving out of that tree stump. And I presented several bits of information that I was able to find, and I got estimates that something like that could cost. First of all, they said it'd be better if it were a 10-foot trunk, more manageable, but still it said estimates from $6,000 to as much as $15,000, depending on what was going to be done and the difficulty of the actual artwork being done. And then I know the commission discussed several times going back, let's find more information. The longevity of something like that was brought up. I have learned that that's a soft pine, and that the pine itself would be subject to the pine rosin continuously still coming out of that as it would be carved, and it's also subject to cracking. But with a lot of care, that could be not as drastic as it could be if you just left it to go to, by itself without any care. But with that in mind, the staff actually approached me this week and brought up the idea that, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of work as far as the care that it might take. And we still have not really figured out what would be there, how to get it done, and that they are recommending, staff is recommending that the tree be removed and that the commission look at some other ideas of what might go on that peninsula in its place. And so that's what's before you tonight. And I'm glad Kyle is here. He could also talk maybe a little bit to that. But that's the information I have, and that's what I've been asked to bring to you. So looking for a motion to do that, or unless you guys discuss it.
I think we have a question first. Vice Chairperson Andy?
It's more a comment. I was a big fan of having it be some sort of carved something, but the fact that here we are 2 years later and nothing's really happened, and when you look at the numbers, and I know they don't last forever, I hate to say it, but I am in agreement with what city staff is proposing to remove it for $800, because I think at this point, that amount of money could probably be better used someplace else. And maybe that's the place, because I was also a big fan of a peace pole, and I don't know if there's going to be one in the city square area, but because it's kind of a peninsula out into the lake, and I don't think they're $15,000, maybe that's something we could look at there. But I'll make a motion to go with the city staff's recommendation of removing the tree, but there's room for discussion.
Commissioner Fix?
Thank you, Andy. I was a proponent for having a Carvey done with that tree as well. But I always did have concerns about the longevity of whatever we did to it. I would second your motion and go on the city's recommendation. However, I just have one kind of nitpicky question. I feel that $800 to remove it is really high. I had a, 30-foot palm tree removed in my backyard for $450. So that's just sidebar.
So it's been,
Thank you for that, Commissioner Fix. Are there any other comments prior to, I suppose we would acknowledge both the motion and the second and then vote, but I just want to make sure Commissioner Faith and Commissioner Colbreth have an opportunity to comment prior to voting. Okay, I too feel like there's just a lot of X factors and things that are beyond our control. I love the idea of having the tree carved, but without a complete understanding of first the cost of how to protect it over time and just the upfront cost variable, it seems like it's just going to be better. I would agree to just remove it at this time, go with staff recommendation. So we have a first, or we have a motion, and then we have a second. So Sonny, are we okay to vote now?
yeah, as
We
long
are?
as you just ask if there's any more discussion. If there's not, then you call for a vote.
Is there any more discussion? Is there any other questions? Commissioner Faith, Commissioner Colbreth? No?
One more thing. I agree. I think it makes sense to remove it at this time, and I do want us to, at some point in the future, look at something else to do in that spot, even if it's just additional trees. I think something needs to go there after the tree's removed.
And that'll be a good discussion too, because I know there's a lot of ideas that came out of last couple of meetings that we talked about this for sure. Okay, with no further questions or comments, we can go ahead and vote. All in favor of going with the city's recommendation to remove the tree trunk, please say aye and raise your hand. Aye. All opposed? Okay, unanimously, the ayes have it.
Thank you.
Approval of minutes. Presenter Marissa Romo, Deputy City Clerk.
All right, Chairman Taddy, Commissioners, the minutes are in the packet. Unless anybody has any questions, I just need a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the June 9th regular meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
Are there any comments or points of discussion for the June minutes? June 9th minutes of the RPG Commission? Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, unanimously, we have approved the minutes. Return to in-person meetings. Presenter Marissa Romo, Deputy City Clerk.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Taddy and Commissioners. The City Council voted at their last regular meeting to resume their in-person meetings, starting with September's regular meeting. And so after consulting with city management, it was discussed that all of the boards and commissions follow suit. So we are recommending that you guys return to in-person. We are still going to stream the meetings through YouTube, but we likely will not have active participation in a hybrid setting. So we just wanted that to be on tonight's agenda for your awareness that starting with next month's meeting, we will hold them here in the conference room if you all would just attend through City Hall. Anybody have any questions? No?
I think that is awesome.
All right.
Yeah,
It's really just information. There's no need for action, so.
okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Commissioners report on current events. Does anybody, any of the commissioners or vice chair, have anything to report on current events?
Well, I just have to commend Public Works. I have to walk my dog early in the morning, and if there has been wind or a storm of any sort, their guys are out there at least 6 o'clock picking up big chunks and whatever is around. So applause to you guys because
Boy, they've had some work with it too, right? Holy cow.
they've been busy, but they're out there early in the morning cleaning up after the storms. It's great. Thank you.
Thank you for the
Right on.
compliment. All the work has been very busy with all these storms.
Yeah.
Commissioner Colbert?
I was also going to say that the parks have looked great this summer, and yeah, with all the storms we've had, it's been good. So I echo that as well. Also wanted to say that my daughter was on swim team this summer, and it was a good success, and the coaches were great, and staff was good, and just really enjoyed being there for swim team this summer. So good job on that.
Excuse me. So compliments to the organizers. Of course, Mr. Pat's here for the beanbag toss tournament that I was actually away for. There was a few people who came up to me after the tournament and said, you know, we missed Scrappy McBaggins. The team will be back in the future for sure. But holy cow, the compliments. They said it was a blast. They said it's just a great event, and everybody that came up to me and said something mentioned that they look forward to the next one, Mr. Pat. So much compliments there.
Thank you, appreciate that. November 19th is the next one, so put
right,
that,
sign it
get your practices going, so.
All right. I got to get Richard to coach me up a little bit and get that going. Commissioner Fix?
I will echo what Andy said. We are very, very blessed to live in a city that has such amazing residents and staff. You know, the staff makes this place such a unique community, and I can't thank them enough. I don't think there's another town that's like Litchfield Park, and they do a great job keeping it beautiful, keeping it wholesome, getting families involved. So kudos to all.
Thank you, Commissioner Fix. Commissioner Faith?
I was out of town most of this month, so I when I came back, I didn't really notice there were any big storms. So says a lot for the staff there, but otherwise, not a whole lot to report.
All right. Well, thank you, commissioners. We have one topic for referral to City Council, which would be the removal of the stump.
I think that's being handled by staff if I'm,
Okay, copy that.
yeah.
Yeah,
You guys aren't going to believe this, but that leaves only one thing on the agenda, adjournment. I think we need a motion then for adjournment. Not everybody at once.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
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 Yay,
Unanimous again.
that's a world record.
I know. How about it? Thank you, everybody.
Everyone.
Good to see everyone. Next month, we're in